Welcome, everybody. You already know it's your girl Sarah Ann, and I'm super excited to be here today. Welcome to Against the Grain About the Salt podcast. And today we're in for an emotional regulation ride. We're going to talk about regulating our emotions and how important it is to regulate them emotions, especially as a tenderoni, okay? Because it's nothing worse than a female crashing out, especially over no man. But it's definitely not tasteful as a lady not to have your emotions in check, okay? And then men in general, if you're a human being, you should have your emotions in check. You need self control. You need discipline. And I really want to lean into this on my experience because I used to be a certified crash out. When I tell you certification, certified crash out. If y'all don't know what a crash out is, certified gone crazy. Like I would get angry. I would lash out. I would be happy, sad. I would just be up and down. And when you're emotionally not regulated, OMG, life is a roller coaster and it's embarrassing. And you put yourself in positions that are could be life threatening because you did not have the emotional stability to get through that situation. A little background on me. My parents are Caribbean. You could say South American Caribbean. We're Surinamese. And I think that irregulation starts from a child because when you're a kid, you learn, and your home is the first place you learn. You have nurture and you have nature. I was nurtured that way, and I'm the eldest daughter. So, and when I talk about this and when I show you these things about my parents, it's not me talking about my parents because I'm 10 toes down for my parents love them. But two things can be true. They did their best with what they got, and I see how I'm going to pick up the mantle and I have to fix and unlearn what I was taught in the house so that I could be better for my kids, my community, my family when I have a family of my own. Mom and dad in a Caribbean household, and like I said, my parents were very strict. You know what I'm saying? And we grew up in the church, so I could never just not. I be wanting to not go to church. My mom's like, get up, no. And it was hard because my parents were going through things. They were going through things with each other, and I know one thing I picked up from them was anger, uncontrolled anger. And when they would be angry, they would lash out. And I don't know if this is like cultural, but I see other cultures, they're loud when they talk. Like you ever listen to your parents, if you're from, depending on where you're from, if you ever listen to your parents on the phone with their family, or when family come over, they talking and they yelling, and you think there's a fight about to break up, but they're just talking. And as a child, that just it scarred me because I'm like, are y'all yelling? Like, are y'all beefing right now, or is this is a regular conversation? You get what I'm saying? And then I started having to think like, how do we, how do people have conversations with each other at an octave that's at a million, or like, are we whispering with our inside voices? And I'm loud. My sister be like, you're yelling. I'm like, oh, it's the yelling in me. And they would get angry, and when they were angry, oh boy, all hell broke loose. And I thought it was interesting because as I grew up, I started tiptoeing around them. I could feel the energy. I could feel when there was about to be an episode. And that on and off is not healthy. Like 1 minute they're angry, and then literally seconds after, it's like, okay, I'm all right. Are you good? Like you just had an episode, and now you want me with all these heightened emotions just to be like, oh, everything's fine now because you're fine? And that's what I learned growing up, chaos. Learning how to, pick and choose or tiptoe around people's feelings. Like, okay, mom and dad are angry right now, or they might be fighting right now. So I'm just going to take whatever I have going on to the side. But because they're yelling, I'm feeling all of that energy. Kids are like sponges. They can feel the anger. And it creates an atmosphere that is very, your nervous system is not regulated. Even when I would do something, like I used to get my behind whipped. My brother and I were two menaces to society, but my brother, he was a menace to society. Okay, shout out to Yash. And we would get our tail beat all the time because we were kids. It was just bad. We was just outside doing crazy stuff. And but like one of the things I remember growing up is like if I got an answer wrong on my homework, like if I was doing homework with my mom and I would get an answer wrong, she beat me. She was like, 1 plus 1 equals what? I'm like, I'm panicking because that pressure. And that in itself is not healthy. How can you learn and you're about to get your tail handed to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, give me some time. This little thing blinking. I don't know what that means. Anyway, sorry y'all. The microphone was blinking. I'm like, better be recording before I knock somebody out. Anyway, so I think those were the beginning stages of fear and dysregulation because I would want certain things and it's like I can't have it. Or why can't I have what I want? And I would be angry about it, but where do I put this anger? You know what I'm saying? And I think that because when I would get my behind whipped, and then my mom would come back and or my mom did most of the whipping. My dad with my brother. When my mom would come back, she'd be like, "You want something to eat? You want to come downstairs?" No, sorry. No, nothing. I'm over here fuming like I'm about to leave this house. I hate it here. And you just coming back like, come downstairs and get some food. And I learned that my parents grew up in a third world country when getting your tail whipped was normal, almost abusive. And I'm not, my parents didn't abuse me, but I definitely understand that they had a lot going on and I could feel that through some of them whippings. I'm like, I don't know who pissed you off today, and I know I might have pissed you off real bad, but this is misplaced anger. And as I grew up in the house, becoming a young adult, I realized that it was worse. As I started having a voice for myself, it's like I don't want to do this. They're like, you have to do it. I don't have to do anything. I'm an adult now. You know what I'm saying? Like them saying certain things to me and I didn't like what they said. And if I address it, it's a problem. And it's like they won't say sorry. A lot of the things I grew up with, they never said sorry. It's like I beat you and that's that. And I'm not saying that, you don't want to you want to spare your child a rod, but I do believe in communication and letting the child understand why I did what I did to you. A lot of times I was getting my tail beat and I didn't understand why. I know it was bad, but tell me what I did so maybe I don't do it again. You know what I'm saying? And if I tell you you hurt my feelings, say sorry. But in my culture, and I'm going to talk from Surinamese households. It's foreign to say sorry to your child because they have this hierarchy, like I'm your mom, I'm your dad, you do what I say, kind of thing. And it's like that's not healthy. Just because I'm a kid doesn't mean you can bully me. Yeah, I'm supposed to do what you want me to do, but I am still a person. You know what I'm saying? And as the oldest, I would talk my talk. I was talking back because I wanted to understand, and I understood also how I was feeling. Something wasn't right. It was like this is not how life is supposed to be. Like I'm feeling some type of way, but I never had the tools to work through my own anger, work through my own pain. You know what I'm saying? And I realized as I got older, I was like, I don't want to be like my mom and my father with their emotional roller coasters. I want to be able to say sorry when I messed up. I want to not crash out because something bad happened or you did something that I didn't like. And a lot of it came from I'm the mom and you're the child. I'm the father and you're the child. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a human being. And even as an adult, I'm learning now I had to put boundaries for my parents because they still operate as if I am a little girl. I'm like, I'm not a little girl, I'm an adult. And as an adult, I require certain things now that I couldn't say before. Now I can say it. You hurt my feelings. You stepped on my toe. I don't like how you said that to me. And if your response is, well, figure it out, that's how I am, you're too sensitive. And that's what I got a lot of times from my mother. Oh, you're so sensitive. You need to grow a backbone. A backbone to some crap? You really just annihilated me, and now you want me to be okay with it, and now you want me to go help you go do something? No, I don't want to see you. I don't want to talk. Same thing with my father. I had to bring something up to him, and he like, well, it's my house, it's my house. They love saying it's their house, and I totally agree with this. Let me tell y'all something, young bucks, and those of you who are still living with your parents, and I don't care how old you are, it'll never be your house as long as it's their house. And it's a tough pill to swallow because I understand they give you a place to stay and all of these things, but I always got this notion. It was like after everything I did for you, it's always like I'm doing this for you, you owe me. I don't owe you anything. I am the child. You brought me into this world. I didn't ask to be here, but y'all asked for me to come through this canal, this womb. And it's misplaced anger and it's manipulation and it's dysregulation of emotions. And for me, it was so hard because I grew up in the hood, so you got hood stuff going on. It's like you have to have a hard shell growing up in the hood because people want to fight. It's a lot of anger going on. And then in the house, I'm not really able to express myself because there's other things happening that are adult things that as a kid I'm seeing. And so I learned recently how to regulate my emotions and my nervous system. You have to remove yourself from the environment that's triggering you. And God gave me an out. He allowed me to remove myself so I could regulate my emotions. And I'm not gonna lie, I still be crashing out, but behind doors. Excuse me, closed doors. Nobody knows that I'm crashing out. And sometimes I crash out, to my friends and my siblings, and I have to hang the phone up. I'll just be like, I'm gonna call you back because I'll be feeling some type of way. I'm like, I'm really getting mad. And I realized, like reading Proverbs, it's like be slow to anger. Avoiding a quarrel is smart. Not leaning into arguing because certain people trigger you. And that was what happened. Like my parents, they have a certain trigger for me. I love them, but your family, they know how to poke a button that make you want to lose it, Hulk smash it. And I'm learning that, oop, you're triggering me. Like Dame Dash said, I'm not even going to entertain that. And anybody that's triggering you, you want to remove yourself from. And you want to make sure you're prepared because life will be triggering you. You can't just be like in a house in a box. You need to be able to create tools and to do the work so that you can emotionally regulate yourself. And I had a little crash out yesterday, and my brother in Christ, he just did not answer me. He ignored me, and I thought it was brilliant. It's exactly what I needed because you can't have it your way all the time. It's not always about you, but it is about you. And people will say, I used to be like, well, they're bothering me, like they deserve the response that they're getting. I'm not saying that's not true. They might deserve it, but if you give up that emotional regulation, they win. And that was hard for me to understand. How do you win for me giving you exactly what you deserve? They win because they're miserable, so now you're miserable. And they know how to make you miserable. I don't want anyone to know how to make me miserable. You shouldn't even have that power over me. No one can have that power over your emotions. How dare you? So whenever you feel like making me jump, you just gonna make me jump? No. I don't have to take the bait. But I feel like it's so important to emotionally regulate your mind, your mouth. Be slow to anger. Think before you respond. But do the work because you miss out on a lot of opportunities because you don't know how to handle pressure, handle triggers, handle people who aren't the best. It's really a reflection of you. And I learned so much that I had to unlearn. I think unlearning what my parents are doing and learning what God wants me to do. And I think it's hard when you start healing and you notice the people around you that are still hurt, they are not progressing the way that you're progressing. A lot of people choose to be in pain. And when you realize that people are choosing to be in pain, you remove yourself from that. And you also pray for them because it's like, dang, like you don't want to be better. Like you're in so much pain that you rather operate in this dysfunction than function well. So regulate your emotions so that you can be the best version of yourself for you and the family that you plan on bringing on this earth. It's your girl, Sarah Ann. I love you dearly. You already know. I'll see you on the flip side of America. You heard me?